Hello friends, the news long due. Next cruise powered by Aha CarOS is now validated by iCAT. This is a news that we have been working on to give you since last 2 years, and I am going to share all the details in this video. Let's begin. So friends, next cruise is now validated by the iCAT. This is a big news. For those of you who have joined us just now, Nextcruise is a plug-and-play device which goes into your car and gives it cruise control, speed limit, and a host of new features. And I am Akash, and me with my team here at Aha, we work to create aha moments in your life. We have been working on this since last many years. Ever since Nextcruise came out, there was always this question that is it validated, is it tested by some body like ARAI or not? And we always had to say no because this entire journey had been really long. Those of you who have been with us from the beginning already know this, and I'm sure that you'll be feeling the joy that we are feeling, and this news is bringing cheer to all of us. But it was always validated by the users themselves, and there are thousands upon thousands Nextcruise units out there working flawlessly all over India, and few of them are even in other continents of the world. So in this video, let us now show you some behind the scenes things. So the testing was done by iCAT, which is basically an organization of the government of India. And iCAT certifies a lot of automobile equipment and vehicles for their field worthiness. So in this case, Nextcruise powered by the CarOS has been tested for environmental factors, for electrical performance, and for functional performance. So in the last video, you have already seen that we had tested the Nextcruise over an extreme range of temperatures. So that was actually our preparation to submit the device to iCAT, and it has passed with flying colors. Then the electrical tests have validated that the Nextcruise is perfectly safe to be installed in any car, and it is not going to interfere with the car's original native performance in any way. And then let me walk you through some good functional tests. So what happened was, we had a test vehicle with Nextcruise installed in it, and iCAT test engineers installed their own equipment on this test vehicle and took all the readings, all the data, and I want to walk you through that data to show you how it did. Okay friends, let's now look at the data as provided by the iCAT. The test engineers who tested our product, they based their results on this data and also provided us the data so that we can also analyze it. So let me take this opportunity to show you how our product performed in front of the iCAT test engineers. So here we go. Let us first analyze how the cruise control performed. So the test was done on 3 different cruising speeds: 40 kilometers per hour, 60 kilometers per hour, and 90 kilometers per hour. And you can tell even by the look of it that the speed is being held in a very precise manner. So first let us take a closer look at the 40 kilometers per hour graph. I'm just going to zoom it in. So this is how it looks. In this, the thing of interest is actually the deviation between the maximum and the minimum data points, and in this case it is exactly 1 2 3 4, slightly more than plus minus 1 kilometer per hour basically. So this entire span is 2 kilometers per hour, so it makes it plus minus 1 kilometer per hour deviation, which is well within the acceptable limits. Obviously I'm going to ignore this because it is when we actually engage the cruise, it takes some time to settle down, and this is that spike. And one more thing you will notice is that the actual speed that shows on the speedometer and the one that is read out by an external device like a GPS device, they differ by a significant degree. The speedometer shows very high speed, almost 10% higher on the error side. and I elaborated it in my last video for the Himachal trip on the highway. Anyway, you can take a look at that if you want, but right now let us continue to 60 kilometers per hour scenario. In this also you can tell that it is a very flat span of cruise control, and it is holding the speed in a very good way. Let me zoom it in for you, and here you can see that this also is pretty flat. What I will do is I will make it even more granular. I'll zoom it in so that we can measure the deviation. So now every line is again 0.5 kilometers per hour, and it is also spanning from 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, it is a 2 kilometer per hour deviation from the set point, which is again plus minus 1 kilometer per hour, which makes it a very precise cruise control device. Looking at the 90 kilometer per hour graph, you can also tell that it is pretty flat. It is also well within 1 kilometer per hour. But in the test data, we can tell that it is not extending for a very long duration because of the extreme speed. So we will not analyze it deeper, but just by the flatness of it, you can tell that the device is actually performing in a very controlled manner. Great. Now let us look at how the device performed when the dial was used to increase or decrease the speed. Right. So this is our graph. So it is a typical test. We had some effort. We had to do some effort explaining how this is supposed to work to the test engineers. Over here in the start of the test, you can see that we had to brake the vehicle due to some traffic on the road. But over around this point at t equal to 50 seconds, we have engaged the cruise. Now let me zoom into this area. Okay, now I've zoomed into the area of interest, and here you can easily see the various steps the dial rotation is causing. Every step is 2 kilometers per hour difference. So the dial rotation is working pretty much the way it should work. In this region, actually, you can see this is the cruise override function test. So at this step, we manually accelerated while cruising, and you can see that the cruise override happened here up to this point, and when the cruise was let go, the device again stabilized at the old cruising speed, and then the test was over and the cruise was cancelled. So this completes our dial step test. Now coming to the resume cruise functionality. This one is also quite interesting, and in a nutshell you can see that at 66 kilometer per hour the cruise speed was stabilized. At this point we have cancelled the cruise, we have applied brakes so that the car speed has decreased from 66 to 36, and at this stage we have resumed the cruise and it has gone back to 66 kilometer per hour. So this captures the entire cycle. So this cycle is cruising, this part is braking, this part is resume cruise, and this part is again cruising. Now let us take a look at the speed limit functionality. So the team tested our device for two different speed limits, 40 and 60. Let us first take a look at the 40 kilometers per hour speed limit. And you can easily tell that the device is honoring the speed limit in a very precise manner. So we have already set the speed limit before the start of this test, and the device is accelerating, then it is plateauing off the set speed, and then the accelerator throttle is removed. At this stage, we have removed the speed limit and the device is able to accelerate. Now let me zoom in this area and show you how exactly this is performing. So I zoomed it in, and in this what we are looking for is how much overshoot is there from the set point. So our set point is, as per the data, it is 36 kmph. Actually, as per the speedometer of the car, it is 40 kmph, but because of the error in the speedometer reading, 10% less, it is actually 36. And here, if you look at the maximas, this and this, it is only 0.5 kmph exceeding. So it is well within the regulations. It is very precise in this case. And the dip that you see over here is because of the road undulations. This doesn't really matter. What really matters is it is not violating the set speed limit by more than 0.5 kmph. So this is what makes it a very good speed limiting device. Coming to the 60 kmph speed limit, and from the get-go you can easily tell that it's performing very beautifully at the 60 km per hour speed limit as well. Let me zoom in to this region also so that you can take a closer look. So this is my zoomed in area. Let me make a 0.5 km per hour grid line, so I can measure from the grid line that the maxima is not exceeding my 0.5 kmph step. Actually, plus minus 1 kmph is well acceptable, and on slopes it is allowed to go up to plus minus 5 kmph also. But our device is overperforming, our device is excelling at these specs at only 0.5 kmph. So friends, this is the entire journey that NextCruise and the underlying intelligence, the Car.OS, has crossed and has successfully come out victorious. And we hope that this is going to increase the trust in the product. Of course, you already had that, it's already working, but then a third party validation boosts the confidence like nothing else. So on to a new trajectory for Aha with all of you. This is Akash signing off on behalf of the entire team Aha. Jai Hind.